So I just watched Wednesday, and I don't really care for it. Netflix original is something I rarely muster any excitement over. I think the only Netflix original show that I'm at all interested in is Blue Eye Samurai. But aside from that, everything else is just pause. I guess Stranger Things, I'm a little interested to see what happens next, but not really. Mainly because of the 3-year cycle that every single season takes 3 years to make now, which really kills my interest in shows because every time I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what happens next. 3 years go by and I kind of forget about everything. Like, all right, that existed. So yeah, it's painful how long it takes to make shows these days. And I swear if Severance takes another 3 years again, I'm gonna lose my mind. I want to go freaking, I'm gonna be livid. But thankfully, if time finally comes and now the new season Wednesday comes out, and I do not care at all for this show. The first season was just blasé. To me, the Addams family are characters that I don't think fit drama well because again, it's kind of hard with I like doing brutal things. Oh, it's murderous. Yet when it actually happens, they're like, this is awful. It's kind of contradictory. It's hard to get a drama without contradicting itself out of these characters. That's why I think they're best suited for comedies, like the Barry Sonnenfeld versions of the Addams Family, which will always be the best version of these movies or these characters in terms of visual medium. That's not like moving picture medium because then they're comics, and I think those also sum up the characters perfectly well too. Yeah, the movies and the comic books are what I usually go to for the Addams Family. This show, not so much. But what is the show about? Well, for the five people who've never heard about the show, it's about Wednesday Addams. She goes to school with other people who have powers, outcasts, or Hogwarts. Pretty much, it's just Hogwarts, but with just as many irresponsible things happening behind the closed doors. Actually, not even closed doors in front of everybody. This is I don't know why anybody would send their kids to this death trap, but you know what? I don't know why anybody would send their kids to Hogwarts. So if I can look past that in Harry Potter, I'll look past that in this movie, or the show. And well, there's nothing really interesting if you look past that because these characters are all pretty boring. Jenna Ortega does a good job playing Wednesday Addams, but still to this day, Christina Ricci will be the definitive version of the character, in my opinion. Then there's her friend Enid. She's a boring character, and she's much better than season 1. She's not that much annoying, but yeah, she's pretty forgettable. Nothing interesting going on. I guess there's some stuff with her boyfriends, which I could care less about. Like zero investment in that regard. There's this new invisible kid who's a fan of Wednesday, and she had a few funny moments, but she's also pretty not that interesting. And what else is there? There's then the actual Addams fans come by, and they're actually not bad characters. I think the casting's really good with Luis Gomez and Catherine Zeta-Jones. I think they're good picks, and they're pretty fun characters. They play the classic Morticia and Gomez parts perfectly fine. Honestly, the people who play the Addams are fine. Also, the kid who plays Pugsley too, and that's the main cast overall. Again, there's other characters that are surprises come by or a one-off episode, and including Steve Buscemi, who what a waste of a great actor. That's all I'm gonna say. Why did you get an actor that great and just put him in such a nothing role? Steve freaking Buscemi. Whatever. Yeah. But the thing is this better than season 1 or season 2? I honestly have to think about that because it's they're pretty much the exact same, except for one factor there's one factor that puts each show in their own benefit. The main benefit from the season that the old season did not have was there's no love triangle. Thank God. This was easily the worst part of the last season. Tyler's from now one of the love triangle characters in the first season is just the bad guy, straight up villain. There's a few scenes where they kind of remind us of the thing between them the last season, but for the most part he's just the bad guy, and I'm happy with that. I keep it that way. Keep it that way. He's still the worst character though of the show. His motivations just flip flop. They go back and forth more than that ping pong ball at an Olympic Games match. The character Xavier just got completely removed. And again, thank God, because he was the worst character of the show. I think I'm just so glad he's gone. And please, please, for the love of God, never bring him back. So yeah, that's the biggest improvement thus far. But there's also one issue that the last season didn't have. Well, actually was a bit of an issue, but it's hard to explain without going to spoilers. Okay, the thing is that in the first episode, like every season, it's like there's a different conflict. Everything in season 1 got pretty much resolved, except for one thing, one cliffhanger gets resolved in episode 2. Okay, but the first episode that season, though, sets up a few different plot points. There's a murder mystery, which gets solved in episode 5. Who it is, you find out 4, find out who it is, and then it's completely resolved by episode 5, and it's kind of irrelevant for the rest of the show. And then there's another thing at like the cliffhanger episode 1 of season 2. Gets resolved in episode 6, completely irrelevant. By the everything that builds towards the climax is all pretty much set up in episodes throughout the show. It's like we just watch one thing and then just completely another. It's like there's a season got smacked, 2 seasons got thrown into one, and it's kind of distracting. But this season is literally split into 2. Like again, this is another market not release schedule thing that I just cannot stand. Like where they split one season into 2 different months. We have to wait a whole month.